Previously on Tales of Arise.
Whoa!
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helgenquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrek 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrek 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegus has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Phasal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Everything we thought we knew, it was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Sneakies? Oh yeah.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dan and mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Hevrek 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danons and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danon is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danons have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danons, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power, and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Whoa.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shionne. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis, or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shionne? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shionne. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shionne.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shionne tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shionne's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shionne's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shionne.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevrek 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevrek 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shionne described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shionne that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renus Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renus Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renus Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, Then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person?
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shionne's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you You really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shionne?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do.
Oh no.
Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shionne. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shionne.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me.
Hmm?
My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? You ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrect 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shionne and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead...
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shionne's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shionne's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say...
What of the world?
Yeah, I mean, at the...
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if...
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danon started pressing their own.
Renans, Danon...
If only we could see differences like that for what they... Not differences, so much...
It will take someone in power to set an example.
There will no longer be any need for the example.
That's where we come in. Imagine it. A world where magic and...
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use.
So they really are being controlled.
I knew there was something off here.
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Here goes! Eat dirt! Where are you going? Mega Ray! Into the shadows!
Astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed walk.
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Be let free!
Here, let me help! First
I
aid!
don't know what
I shall ensure you survive this.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Mega Ray! A chain between heaven and earth. Here, let me help. First aid! Here's a healing art! First aid!
Through me.
Mega Ray! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Ready to go! Denied!
Not today!
Mega Ray! Eat dirt!
Get out of this!
Here, let me help! Illuminate the dark! Come forward! Here, let me help! A chain between heaven and earth! Here, let me help!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! A chain between heaven and earth! I never fit!
We can't lay a finger on you.
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see.
Now you see what I can do.
I'm ready! Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them, but I hate killing them. They don't even...
Perhaps. However, if we don't...
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like...
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now,
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research.
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't...
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though.
Why do I feel this is less...
Just a friendly...
Hey! Hey, I just...
Is this about dinner last night?
What? No, I mean... Wait, you...
Rinwell, the...
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers...
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess?
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it.
Connect the...
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, who... Oh, now you want to listen.
Ow, ow, ow! You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go...
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like...
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down.
Exterminate them? Whoa.
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified...
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the...
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go.
I hope we find a way to...
It's a nice thought, but they attacked...
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might...
Well, I guess...
This one will be difficult to predict. Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Illuminate the dark! Come here, let me help.
I owe you one. Prepare to be sealed, Actually, perhaps found is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. Back into the fray.
Negative gate.
Take this!
Lunar corruption.
Shattering the pieces!
Attack time.
Lunar corruption!
Elder
won't save you!
Back into the fray.
Do it!
Totally! In an instant!
Impact block!
We work well together. Like a finely timed light.
Negative gate. Illuminate the dark. I can handle it. Where are you going?
Rain slash! Lewis gate!
Reload!
Lewis gate!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Captivity!
I'm ready! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rock.
I would imagine their remnants left.
It's incredible.
Hey, these guys built Lenigan.
If they had the power to create things like this, or rather, was that the only use the great... We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil.
The true citizens of Rena. What to think of the promise their accomplishments.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different...
Like all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great...
You and Alphen both share an optimism.
Do you think that...
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself.
Just look at the size of that thing. And how Ganquil's technology certain in the past 300 years. No, even before.
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all...
I can understand where he's coming from.
What do you mean where it leads?
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit...
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to...
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it...
You know what he's like, Law.
Jesus, finally.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator.
I wonder how the Renans of...
I'd say it's like...
Ironic?
The Renans have... Now,
Which must mean...
Now hang on, though. Without it...
Law's entire...
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said...
What the... Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Airborne beast. My specialty.
Now you see what I can do! I'm free! If they just sit still!
Shionne, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
I'm not done!
Now, it's over. Astral energy, full throttle. A flawless victory.
My turn! Here I come!
Naturally.
Through escape! Soaring light spear!
I'm ready!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Reinforcements. Raging cascade. And again.
Soaring light spear!
Here.
Mirage! Here I come!
In a bind?
Take it.
No escape!
Radiant pierce.
Resonate with the
Out of it.
Not today!
Magic land.
Here I come! Vacuum blade! Raining slash!
Lightning condemned.
Negative gate!
I'm
ready.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you.
More treatment?
Keep calm and take them down. Astral energy.
Say no more!
Hear me. I'm ready.
Elusive deity!
That'll bring you down.
Strike! Soaring light spear!
Glacial freeze. Here's the evil. Here
You're
goes.
mine!
Freeze Lancer.
Strike! It's over! Blow away!
Take it. Time flat. Lightning condemned. Radiant fire.
Blow away!
Illuminate the sun. Magic advance. Holy land.
They smite!
Soaring light spear! Mirage! Severing wind!
Here, let me have it.
Wind! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! More?
Resonate with the earth!
Not a chance! I'm not done!
Time flat. Illuminate the sun.
Raising you up! Bloody howling!
You're mine!
Here,
I'm
a
not
wailing
done.
bambi of lightning. Sweet now.
Ready? Try harder! Ignite!
No further! I can carve through armor!
Far enough.
You're mine!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Raining slash!
Blood!
Your style is beautiful to observe.
You just watching or what?
No, I'm still in this.
Demons descend.
Flashing bang!
Stand in the wind. Reload. Air thrust.
Victory is within reach.
Dig deep, and we can do this.
Press your fervor, little one.
Here I come! Soaring light spear! The flame inside me
One's
yearns
mine.
to be let free! Not today!
Take it!
Do it.
Elusive deity!
Shionne, astral energy. Full throttle. Glacial
My
speed
turn!
surge.
Here I come! I'm not done! Soaring light
Thunder
spear!
builder.
Mirage!
One at a time.
Raining slash! Vacuum blade!
You apart! Bloody howling!
Where are you going?
Can't get out of this! I can carve through armor!
Not on my watch. Now, astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Take it! The flame inside me yearns! Soaring light spear!
Lightning. Downfall.
Vacuum blade!
I'm out of ammo. Illuminate the sun.
Raining slash!
Magic advance.
I'm not done! Not today! Take this!
Do it. Kisara, frozen.
Hammer!
Here, let me have it.
Take this!
Everlasting dark!
Chain between
Negative
and
gate! Resonate with the
Wailing
earth!
bambi of lightning.
Gate! There!
In here. You made quick work of him.
I have plenty.
Demons descend.
Flashing bang!
Raging
Now! I'll
Here,
take you!
flame of
I'm not done!
So how far is the second floor?
Here's evil.
Take this!
Yeah.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Here's evil.
Vacuum blade! Not today!
Raging storm. Freeze Lancer. Hey, one at a time. There, and again. Illuminate the dark.
In a bind?
Holy glimmer.
Raining
Fire
slash!
field. Go. A chain between heaven and earth.
Blow away!
Begin!
A wailing bambi of lightning.
Vacuum blade!
Divine.
I'm ready!
It's
Shionne,
over!
astral energy. Full throttle.
Now! You're mine! Strike! Soaring light spear! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Raining slash!
Rending you apart!
I can feel my precision improving.
Even Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit struck...
I've got a really bad feeling about this. Spear.
Not today!
That'll bring you down. Don't mind if I do.
Bloody
Where are you going? These things really get on my nerves. Here's a healing item.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Here's evil. Gale force. Black astral energy.
Raining slasher!
Resonate with the earth!
Lunar corruption. I'm all stopped up.
Take this!
Dance in the wind.
Take this!
Air thrust.
I'm not done!
Between heaven and earth.
Take this!
A wailing banshee of lightning. Glacial
Come and
shield.
face me!
Here's evil.
The everlasting dark!
Negative gate. Raging cascade.
Raining slasher! You're finished! Back to the blade!
Heaven and earth. You get scared.
Blow away! In an instant! Impact frost! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Soaring lights!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Win!
Now! Kikara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Brace yourselves! This one!
Lightning is now going!
They smite with blackened
You
blade!
picked the wrong fight!
I can carve through armor!
They're surrounding us!
There!
Here's a healing These ones can run rings around us!
I owe you one!
Execution!
Lightning
On your
raging
new blade!
Right here! Get on in there with the
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
lightning! Downfall! Dynamic supernova!
It's on!
Here!
You picked the wrong fight!
Here's a healing
You're
arm!
mine! I'm not done!
Sleep now!
Raining slasher! It's over!
No further!
Here, let me help.
Raging
You're
flame!
mine!
Resonate with the earth!
Radiant
Take
chaos!
this! Vacuum blade!
Back into the fray! Lightning! Here's a healing arm! First aid! Lightning! Downfall!
Vacuum blade!
Raging flame!
Dragon swarm! There!
Here I came between heaven and earth!
Vacuum blade!
Elusive
A
deity!
wailing banshee of lightning!
Here I come!
Searing flame! Reload!
Yours are not the skills of just any warrior.
Save your compliments. We have to move.
Driven in.
Do it! Lock! Demons descend!
Flashing fang!
Here's a healing arm!
Now! Here I come!
First aid! Sleep now!
They take this!
Here I go!
I can carve through armor!
Do it! Up and at 'em! Let's go!
That extra training paid off.
Oh shit.
This one will be difficult to predict.
I don't feel like my usual self.
Are you alright? Let me handle this one.
So sorry to disappoint you.
Wind astral energy! Lightning
Here I go.
Thunderblade! Ellipse! Mega ray!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
First aid! Here's a healing arm!
Eat dirt!
Supernova! First aid! Mega ray!
Double demon
Illuminate the dark! Radiant transform!
Another incantation ruined.
You're mine!
I'm ready! A chain between heaven and earth!
Get out of this!
Here I come!
It's go time!
Here I go!
Illuminate the dark!
Smash you!
Finish it!
One more!
Eternal darkness coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Double demon
Mega ray! Radiant
Here, let me help.
First aid! Here's a healing art! First aid! Illuminate the fray! Mega ray! Holy lance! Into the shadows! Between heaven and earth! Traumatoff field! Anything in armor is all... Don't leave me! Resuscitation!
Captivity!
Art seal!
Armor won't save you!
Not in your dreams!
No.
Mega ray!
I can't take much more.
First aid!
Here, let me help.
First aid! Illuminate the dark!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision! Resonate with the Earth!
Mega ray! Lunar illuminate the dark!
Can't get out of this!
Holy land! Primed and ready! Heaven and earth! That'll bring you down! A wailing banshee of lightning! Think again! Divine radiant light! Traumatoff field!
Yours to be let free!
Radiant light!
I don't even know the word defeat.
Radiant light! Heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of lightning! Mega ray!
Double demon fang! I'll face you! Now you see what I can do!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Into the shadow! A banana! Here's a healing art! First aid!
Take this!
Holy art sealed! Confiscated!
Not today!
Tempest whirl! That'll bring you down!
Elusive deity!
Into the shadow!
Pile driver!
Shiny Traumatoff field!
Denied!
Here's a
No limit! You'll pay for that!
First aid!
Here, let me help.
First aid!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Take this!
I can't heal you forever.
Need the dark!
A new lease on life.
Holy land! A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning!
Sleep now.
Lunar corruption! Tempest
Here, let me help.
First aid!
You do the same for me.
Eat dirt!
Here, let me help.
First aid! Here's a
Denied! Can't get out of this! Shattering to pieces! Attack! I'm ready!
Looks like you
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Whew.
With this, I can become even stronger.
They're tough.
Looks like some solid equipment. Got a really bad feeling about this.
Order what? Save you!
Mega ray!
Here I come!
I will cut off the handshake. Into the shadows!
Wind! I'll blind you with
Traumatoff field! Photon into the shadows! Illuminate radiant light! Holy land! A chain between heaven and earth! Flower!
Charge like that could
Here's a
easily be
healing art!
fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Mega ray!
Here, let me help.
First aid!
Anything in armor is all mine! In a bind?
Banshee of lightning! Hold on to your art! Here I come!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
That'll bring you down! Not in your dreams! Mega ray!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Here's a healing arc. I can't hold on much longer.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Ignite!
Here, let me help. First aid! Radiant lightning!
Double Cubic Fang!
There you go!
Corrida.
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! I still got a ways to go! These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganqua. Or perhaps...
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Now you see what I can do!
I can't hold on much longer! Illuminate the
The flame inside me yearns to be let
stay on the ground.
Try harder!
Airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly. I'll be saving this one.
Ready to go! Far enough!
Take this!
Let them mark here. Handle this.
Prepare to be
This one's
sealed,
mine.
O
More with that
Actually, perhaps found is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. Stand in the way.
Okay,
Feel.
here I go!
Get out of there, Radiant Spear. Here's the evil. Thunder.
Take this! Oh, no, no! Here I come!
Here's a healing arc.
Victory is within reach.
Dig deep, and we can do this.
Practice further, little one.
You're mine!
Take this. I'll smash you. Raging cascade.
Not today! Here I come! No escape!
Here's the evil. Do it between heaven and earth. Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Take this! You're mine!
No further!
Freeze Lancer.
You're
Raging
mine!
cascade.
I'm not done!
That'll bring you down.
It's over!
I can handle it.
Bloody hell!
Here, flame of death on my watch. Burning strike.
Try harder!
Negative crystal spear.
No
Here's
escape!
evil.
Soaring Light Spear!
Freeze Lancer.
You're on! You're mine!
Take that. Take that.
Win!
Lightning
The
condemned.
flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Lunar Corruption.
Here I come!
Lunar Prime.
I'm
Zara
ready.
Frozen.
Hammer!
Here's a healing arc.
Now! Here I come!
Raging Crusade.
Catapult! Raining Slash!
Illuminate the
finished.
dark.
Take
There.
this!
Holy Glimmer. And it's the Holy Land. I'm all stuck between heaven and earth. Now.
Flew away!
Crescent flash! I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle black.
Good advice for all of us, to be honest.
Damn it.
This one will be difficult to predict. I shall ensure you survive that.
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing Gantian. Ready to go.
Eat dirt!
Far enough. First aid. Here's a healing arc. Where are you going?
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Illuminate the dark. Come forth, Holy Glimmer.
Elusive deity!
Holy Land.
Dating
Stand between heaven and earth.
Begin!
A radiant onto your arc. Here I come.
Eat dirt!
Ready and ready! Flame!
First aid. Not in your dreams.
I'm
Here's a
ready.
Alphen. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it. have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing. Mega ray. Here, let me help.
It can hide itself?
First aid.
Amazing.
Everlasting shock.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mega ray. Radiant light.
Here I come!
Forgive me.
Stay away from my friend!
How'd you die, darling?
I've healed myself.
Forgive me.
Here, let me help. First aid. Here's a healing art. Here, let me help.
Oh, heal him.
This one's mine!
Oh, damn it.
I'm never sick. Here's a healing art. First aid. A chain between heaven and earth. Mega ray. A wailing banshee of lightning. I'll bring you back from death to here.
Oh my god, dude. Do the special, you fucking... Do the... Oh my god, man. Like, what are you doing?
Resuscitation. Here, let me help. First aid. Here's a healing art. First
I
aid.
don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Mega ray. A wailing shadow. I won't save you. In here. Chronicles. This'll come in handy. Leave the charges to me. I can't heal you forever. Denied. Can't get out of this. Here's the healing art. First aid. Here, let me help. First aid.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I hope
If it's
You
in the
picked the
sky,
wrong
it's
fight.
mine. Confiscated. Mega ray. I'll bring you back from death.
Oh.
I've been hit with something!
Even a master has its limits.
Can't move! Not feeling so great.
Armor won't save you.
Oh my
I'll bring you
god,
back from death.
dude. Y'all trash.
Here's a healing art. Here. A chain between heaven and earth.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just
Oh my god, dude.
well, I'm here to stop.
Can't end here!
Don't give up. Far enough.
Everyone's dead? How is everyone dead, man? Come on. Fucking trash shit.
Magnum. Dragon Shell. Inferno punch. I'll bring you back from death to this. Resuscitation. Here, let me help.
No rest for the wicked.
Here, let me help. First aid. Here's a healing art.
I won't give in.
First aid. Here, let me help. First aid. Here, here's a healing art.
Oh my god.
It's in the sky and mine. I'll bring you back from death to
Dude. Come on. This thing is gonna fucking kill me? Come on, man.
Angry. That
I'll
was a
bring you
bad
back from
idea.
death's abyss. Resuscitation.
The earth throbs in pain.
Take it!
Not now, Taco, not now. Taco!
I can feel the medicine working.
I'm hurt bad.
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Mine. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation.
It's on!
Here's a healing art.
Oh my god, dude. Kill him!
Finish it!
God damn!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Yeah, man. Why is this CP so annoying to have in this game? So stupid. Oh, the little breakage there.
This one's tough,
I have
but we have no
another
choice.
fucking
Let me know if you
CP
need
thing.
healing.
In a bind? You're mine! Okay, here I go. We got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours. Eat dirt.
Raging cascade.
I'm not done. Back you bloody You're mine. Get ready and ready. I can carve through armor.
Do it. Dohalim.
Light burst force.
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
Now.
Ready to go.
Certainly not.
Here. This one's mine. Do it. Astral energy.
Say no more.
Here, let me help.
Now. Can you take it? I've used too much.
Radiant
Blow away.
Thunder field. Reload. Air thrust. Zero time left.
Oh.
You picked the wrong one.
Illuminate
Can't get out of this.
Denied.
No escape.
Do it.
In an instant. Impact block. We work well together. Like a finely timed walk.
God, this thing is so annoying. Hit this motherfucker. Come on.
Seems about right to me.
Yuck.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
I can carve through armor.
Arctic flame! Reload! Raging storm!
Strike. It's over.
Here's a healing arc!
Okay, here I go.
Water! Here my call! Holy land!
Blow away.
Chain between heaven and earth! Back into the
Severing
forest!
wings.
Wailing beauty of lightning!
What are you? What? Dude, you're special, man. Fuck.
Try harder. Burn in hell.
Annoying.
Astral energy!
Say no more. Got
Here's a healing done!
Take this.
First aid! Raging storm! Dohalim!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Not a chance. Back to the blade. Can you take it?
Not on my watch! Now! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Not a chance. They might with dragon blade. It's over.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Can't be Dohalim!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
I can
Annoying.
feel my power growing.
Ooh, that's good though. Take that. Ooh, my CP. Nothing. Yes. Pay to win shit, man. So I'm supposed to know I need all that CP? Like I would if I didn't have it. Now I'm gonna waste it. God damn it. So trash.
Maybe it's time I try on something new.
Lost.
Do it! Here I come! You picked the wrong spot!
Now you see what I can do!
Raging cascade. Mega ray.
Time to cross blade!
Radiant
Here! Shockwave blast!
I'll stop it. Thanks, Kisara. Mega ray. I'm ready. One-cut view. Steel force. Into the
In a bind?
Magic is in. Where are you going?
Shockwave blast!
Into the shadows.
Seismic rupture!
Raging cascade. Here, let me help. Seal.
Now you see what I can do!
Don't mind if I do. Here, let me help. Raging
Coming through!
Get up, get up.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mega ray.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's the raging cascade.
Raging you up!
Think again.
Negative date!
This will come in handy. Mega ray. Lightning orb. All right, it's showtime.
What?
That's the bit.
Eternal devastation!
Annoying, dude. How annoying is this guy?
I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss.
Seismic rupture!
Take this! Here, let me help. First aid!
See what I can do!
Illuminate Mega ray! Holy lamp!
Can't get out of this!
Chain between heaven and earth. Where are you going? A wailing banshee! Mega ray!
Tempest engulfs you!
Here I come!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! Lightning orb!
Carried away!
Mega ray!
Tempest engulfs you!
Dance in the wind!
In hell!
In here!
Begin!
More for the stockpile! It looks like you got this one covered!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Everlasting
Lightning
stop!
orb!
I'm ready!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Woo!
That took more energy than I expected. I have a bad feeling about this.
Not in your dreams!
Here I come!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Armor won't save you!
Burning strike!
Glacial
Wind
spear!
astral energy! Dance in the wind! Here! Freeze laser! Let's get you off this away!
Soaring Light Spear!
Ready to go!
Strike!
Wind up the wind! You like to handle?
No further! I shall ensure you survive this!
I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
My turn!
Raging storm!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm ready!
Doubling!
Light burst forth!
Radiant citizen! Watch and
Now!
Resonate with the earth!
Wind!
Stalagmite!
Shining
On your
supernova!
knees.
Photon light! Illuminate the dark! Do it!
Blow them away! So I still had room to grow.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's simple.
Come and face me!
Resonate with the earth!
Here comes! Up! Here
Blade!
Dance in the wind! Glacial spear! Piercing between heaven and earth!
Air pressure!
A wailing banshee of
I
arc
can
steel!
carve flying free! What can
We
they
do
touch your
challenge
steel?
me.
Yeah! And tumbling to me!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Elusive deity!
Land confiscated!
Vacuum Blade! It's on!
Resonate with the earth!
Not today!
Raging storm! Blow flame flame!
distraction.
There's still more to go.
Take this!
Here's a healing art. First aid. Let the marksman handle this.
Shionne killer, dude.
Lightning orb. Here's a healing art. I can handle it. First aid. Denied.
I'm not done! I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes! Anything in armor is all mine!
Thunder Field.
Win!
Raging Cascade. Lunar Flurry. Flash. Lunar Flash.
I'm not done! Rending you apart! Blow away! Take this!
Hold on to your art.
Carve
Here I
through
come.
armor!
Holy Land.
No escape! On your stop!
Here.
Here's
the healing art.
You're mine! Can't get out of this! Strike! Stay!
Thunder Field.
Begin! I'm not done!
Now.
Rending you
Dueling.
apart!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Illuminate the
Chance.
dark. Hug forth. Holy Glimmer.
Negative back to the blade! On your
A chain between heaven and earth. I never miss. A wailing density of lightning.
Not today! Rending you
Here's a
apart.
healing art.
I'm not done!
Do it. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Here, let me help.
Now! You're mine! I'll face you!
First aid.
I've been doing really great lately.
Oh my god. God, what are you wearing?
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you.
Looks like some solid equipment.
Don't get careless.
Don't show me something.
You need to be healed.
Oh, the mighty have fallen. A spot of beast touching anyone? Carve through armor! Flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Illuminate the dark.
Here, let me help.
Holy Glimmer. Aid. Here's a healing art. Between heaven and earth.
No further! I owe you
A
one!
wailing density of
Here,
lightning.
let me help.
Alpha! Blow away!
Prototype field.
Eternal devastation!
Into the shadows. Gale force. Gale of the wind. Here's a healing art. First aid. Radiant light.
You picked the wrong fight!
Shattering
pieces!
Attack!
Thrilling performance!
Ready to go. Far enough. Here's a healing. First aid.
Take
Be
this!
careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Here's a healing art. First aid. Mega ray.
You're mine!
Don't mind if I do.
Sword rain out captivity! Blow away!
Here goes.
This one's all mine! Burn in hell!
Mega ray. Illuminate the dark. Come forth, holy glimmer.
I'm right behind you!
I'll smash you! Raining slap! Soaring devastation! Let the Alphen handle this!
So you clamor for my true power? I couldn't make it in
First
time.
aid! Here's a healing art! First aid! I'll bring you back. You do the same for me. Raging storm! Resuscitation! Take that!
Can you take it?
Mega ray! Blah blah blah! Holy lance!
They smite with
Denied! Here's a healing art! First aid! Here, let me help.
armor won't save you. Being interrupted.
Confiscated! Lightning
Eat dirt.
Thunderblade! Came between heaven and earth. Mega ray! Where are you going? Mega ray! Savior! Magic is
Can you take it no further?
Mega ray!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. On your knees.
Again, bitch! God damn!
Your name on it!
To action.
Remember to tell me if you
I'm
need
gonna
healing.
fucking evade. What the fuck?
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Oh wow.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
This one's tough! Armor won't save you! Far enough! Double demon fang! Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! Let me help!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
Here's a healing art!
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno! Eat dirt!
Here's a healing art! First aid! Here, let me help! I'm ready! First aid!
Law! Hey! Blow them away!
They're surrounding Mega ray!
Sword Ring Alpha!
Here's a healing art!
Double demon
First
fang!
aid! Here, let me help! First aid! Bring you down! Alright, it's showtime! Here, let me help! I can't hold on much longer!
Ready to go deep out, please?
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! I can carve through armor!
Burn!
I'm ready! Execution! Mega ray!
Negative death!
Holy lance! I don't even know the word defeat! There you go! Resonate with the earth! Denied! Mega ray! Rending you apart! Mega ray! Lightning attack!
Burn in hell!
Mega ray! Holy lance! This one's mine! Where are you going?
The fluidity of your movement.
Mega ray!
I can carve through armor. In a bind.
Here's a healing art! Confiscated! First aid!
What? How's he appearing right next to me?
Like that could easily be faced.
God.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Heal, bitch! Oh my god! God, dude. I don't have no more fucking CP, man. Guys, if it's fucking poison, maybe don't fucking be around there, you fucking idiots. Ah, damn, man.
Behold, the Earth pulse. Tectonic vision.
What? Oh.
Blow them away.
If you want me to keep healing you, I'm gonna need to rest up.
Sounds prudent.
No shit.